I rise today in support of H.R. 5813, a bill to temporarily extend the current farm programs until April 25, 2008. Madam Speaker, since the House conferees were appointed last week, the Conference Committee has been meeting to try to work out the remaining unresolved issues between the House and Senate version of the Farm Bill. I'm pleased to report that on the core Farm Bill issues, we have reached agreement, and there are only a few member-level issues that must be resolved. I want to take this moment right now to thank Chairman Rangel, who has devoted a great deal of his time and his staff time to helping us to come to resolution with the Senate about how to fund the additional $10 billion of new spending for Farm Bill priorities. Without his leadership and that of Speaker Pelosi and the leaders on the Republican side, we would not be so close to finalizing this bill. The Farm Bill maintains and strengthens the safety net that helps farmers and ranchers stay productive and competitive. It also includes important new investments, including $9.5 billion for nutrition programs that are even more important today as food prices continue to climb. It contains $4 billion for conservation programs that will help to protect our land even as crop production soars. $1.2 billion for renewable energy programs that will help us address the rising cost of gasoline and help us get independent of foreign oil. And $1.3 billion for new initiatives and programs to support fruit and vegetable producers, including new programs to help socially disadvantaged and beginning farmers and ranchers. All of these important investments will be lost if we don't have time to finish this conference. This short extension will allow us to finish our work and bring back to the House a conference report that meets the needs of all of American agriculture and the consumers. Madam Speaker, I'm pleased to report that I've been in conversations with Chairman Rangel and others that have been involved in the effort to identify the offsets, and can report that they have made significant progress, that we have been able to apparently convince the Senate to jettison the extraneous items, and so now we're talking about $10 billion instead of $12.5, which is a major accomplishment and victory. And we are getting very close to being able to resolve the differences in the offsets, because where we've been at is the House has put out one set of offsets and the Senate has put out another, and we're trying to reconcile that. I also last night had discussions with the Secretary of Agriculture, Mr. Goodlatte, and others asking that the Secretary and the White House be brought into this negotiation to help us finish up. And from what I can tell, there appears to be an effort to get that engaged. So I think we're very close to having this offset issue resolved, hopefully in a way that will have the bipartisan support in this body as well as in the other body, and also hopefully have the support at the end of the day of the White House. And that is what Mr. Goodlatte and I have been struggling to accomplish since last July. We've made a lot of progress. We're not there yet, but we feel we've made huge progress in the last few days, enough to warrant another one-week extension of the Farm Bill so that we can finish up our work. And I just want to commend Congressman Goodlatte for his outstanding leadership in this effort, his outstanding leadership when he was chairman of the committee last session and getting this Farm Bill process started. And I can tell you that without a doubt that we would not be at this point without him being willing to work with us and help us make some tough decisions to get to where we are. So I just appreciate very much he and his staff and the leadership that they've shown, because over in the House what we're trying to do here is not only have a bill that we can be proud of, but also have a bill we can pass. And I think we're heading to that direction. So, Madam Speaker, I urge passage of the bill, and I reserve the balance of my time.
Gentleman from Minnesota.
Thank the Speaker, and thank Mr. Goodlatte for his kind words. And I would just make one final comment that We are extending this bill for 1 week at this point because we feel that's sufficient time to come to resolution. I do want to warn people that we fully expect to have these things wrapped up by the 25th in terms of having the policy differences in the Ag Committee and the funding differences resolved. But everybody needs to understand that after that, we're going to need an additional extension, probably of 2 weeks, in order to, this is a very complex, huge bill that's going to take us time to pull together, to enroll, to get passed through the House and the Senate, get to the President in time for him to read it before he signs it. So people can expect that, that we're going to have another couple weeks after next Friday, provided we get everything resolved, which I expect we will. So again, I thank my good friend, the gentleman from Virginia, all the other people that have worked with us, and encourage my colleagues to support the bill, and I yield back the balance of my time.